Donald Trump has been elected the 47th President of the United States, marking a remarkable return to the highest office. This victory comes 4 years after he lost his initial bid for re-election and follows a turbulent period marked by his refusal to accept defeat in 2020, a violent Capitol insurrection, felony convictions, and even 2 assassination attempts. With key victories in swing states like Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, once strongholds for Democrats, Trump surpassed the 270 electoral votes required, completing a sweep of the blue wall states that had swung to President Joe Biden in 2020. Vice President Kamala Harris conceded the race and congratulated Trump in a call Wednesday afternoon, soon followed by President Joe Biden, who invited Trump to the White House to begin the formal transition. Messages of congratulations poured in from global leaders, including Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and French President Emmanuel Macron. Trump's win validates his tough political tactics and messaging, which frequently targeted his opponent, Kamala Harris, with inflammatory rhetoric. His hardline approach, combined with a strongman persona, struck a chord with frustrated and polarized voters, particularly men, amid a deeply divided national landscape. Vice President Kamala Harris conceded the 2024 presidential election on Wednesday, speaking from Howard University in Washington, D.C., where her supporters had gathered. Although she acknowledged her defeat to President-elect Donald Trump, Harris encouraged her followers not to lose hope, pledging to continue fighting for the ideals they shared. "The outcome of this election is not what we hoped for," Harris said, "but America's promise will remain strong as long as we keep striving to protect our democracy and pursue justice." Addressing the importance of accepting the election results, Harris described this acceptance as a cornerstone of American democracy, honoring the Constitution and her commitment to public service. "While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight for our shared vision of freedom, opportunity, and dignity for all," she stated. Harris spoke passionately about the future she envisions, one where people have fundamental rights, including safety from violence and the freedom to make personal choices. She urged her supporters to continue advocating for change in every sphere, from the voting booth to the public square and even in everyday acts of kindness. Addressing young people, Harris said, "You have power. Don't let anyone tell you something is impossible because it hasn't been done before. This is not a time to give up, but to push forward." In her closing remarks, Harris shared a hopeful message. "Even in dark times, we must be the light that guides us toward America's extraordinary promise." Earlier that day, Harris called Trump to formally concede and offered to aid his team in the transition of power. President Biden also spoke with Trump, emphasizing his commitment to a smooth transfer of authority. In a statement, Biden praised Harris, calling her campaign historic and a testament to her strength and leadership. With 295 electoral votes, Trump secured his victory, surpassing the 270 required. Harris's concession marks the end of her campaign, but she emphasized that her fight for America's values would continue.